Welcome to this series looking at the resurrection of Jesus Christ. We're going to be looking at various evidences for the resurrection of Jesus, and this is something that I love to do because the evidence for the resurrection of Jesus is so clear and so persuasive that I think it's unreasonable to conclude anything else other than that Jesus really was raised to life. Now, people might say, "Oh, Julian, you would say that you're biased." Well, it's true, I am biased. But, it's okay to be biased. I used to be biased against the evidence and biased against the resurrection. I wasn't brought up a Christian. My mum and dad weren't Christians. But when I looked at the evidence, it was so persuasive that my bias changed. So it's okay to be biased. What's important is that you have an open mind. If you don't have an open mind, what it means is you've already decided from the beginning what you believe, and that's it, full stop. So if you say there's no such thing as resurrections, they don't happen, you can't prove it, blah, blah, blah. If the evidence points to a resurrection and you're saying that, then you'll just end up saying, I can't believe that. I don't believe it. And it's not that there's not evidence for it, it's just that you won't believe it. Now, it's understandable to not believe resurrections because they don't happen on a regular basis. In fact, Jesus Christ is the only one for whom I believe there's any real evidence for a resurrection. But he's the only one that matters. So it's important to have an open mind. Then you can follow the evidence wherever it leads. Even if you don't like where it's leading, if your mind is open, then you can accept, well, I don't like it, but the evidence is pointing to it. It seems pretty clear. So have an open mind. A closed mind, it's a bit like the man who thought he was dead. This guy, he wakes up in the morning, he wakes up, and for some reason he's convinced and persuaded he's died. He died in the night, he doesn't know how, but he's dead. He goes racing downstairs, he cries out to his family, "Family, you're not going to believe it, I'm dead." Of course, they look at him as if he's gone nuts. They say to him, "Of course you're not dead, you're speaking to us." And he says, No, in the night I died. And they try to persuade him that he's alive, but they just can't seem to do it. So they say to him, "Why don't you go to the doctor?" So he goes to the doctor. The doctor kind of wrangles with him about it for a little while, trying to persuade him, but the man won't be persuaded. In the end, the doctor says, "I know, I've got an idea. You know, don't you, that dead people don't bleed?" The man says, "Yeah, I do. I know that dead people don't bleed because with a dead person, their heart stopped pumping. So there's nothing to push the blood out of the body if the body's cut. And the blood congeals, so it doesn't even flow anymore." So the doctor says, "Okay then, so if you're dead, if I was to cut you, you won't bleed." The man says, "Absolutely." So the doctor says, "Well, let me prick the end of your finger with a pin. Let's see if blood comes out. If no blood comes out, I'll believe that you're dead." And the man says, "Yeah, okay, let's do it. No blood's going to come out, though, because I know that I'm dead." So the doctor gets a pin, pricks his finger, blood comes pouring out of his finger. The man looks at his finger, looks at the doctor, and he says, "I don't believe it. Dead people do bleed." And you see, that illustrates a closed mind. The problem with the man is he had decided, that's it, I'm dead. Therefore, no amount of evidence could persuade him otherwise. Look, don't be like that. As you come to look at the evidence for the resurrection, have an open mind so that you can follow the evidence wherever it leads.